Hello everyone, welcome to the Tim Booker channel. I wish you all an enjoyable listening experience. Today, the book I'm going to interpret for you is The 100-Year Life, Living and Working in an Age of Longevity. With the extension of human lifespans, significant changes are quietly occurring in people's lives. In the past, once someone turned 50, they might have been looking forward to retirement and spending time with their grandchildren. But nowadays, a 50-year-old could still be a key player in their workplace. A woman in her 30s in the past might have been a mother of two, but today, a 30-year-old might have just graduated with a PhD and remain unmarried. Have you ever thought about what society and life would be like if everyone could live to be 100 years old? How would you plan and organize your life in such a scenario? The book we are discussing today will explore these questions with you. The authors of this book are two economics professors from the London Business School, Linda Grattan and Andrew Scott. In this book, they don't teach you how to maintain your health or how to enjoy retirement. Instead, they provide a profound depiction of future life scenarios by synthesizing knowledge from economics, psychology, and sociology. They offer wise insights and planning for a longer life, along with many forward-thinking recommendations. Since its release in 2016, the book has received repeated recommendations from well-known media outlets like Bloomberg and the Associated Press. It became one of Amazon's bestsellers that year, and its popularity continues unabated, sparking widespread interest and discussion. Now, I will break down the contents of this book into three parts to explain to you. 1. What challenges will people face in the era of longevity? 2. What might future life look like? 3. How can we effectively plan our future work and life? The first question, what challenges will people face in the era of longevity? Some may wonder if it's really possible for people to live to 100 years old. In fact, this is supported by data. According to authoritative data from research institutions such as the University of California, the average human life expectancy has been increasing at a rate of 3 months per year since the 1850s. This means that every decade, human life expectancy can increase by 2 to 3 years. Moreover, whether in developed or developing countries, life expectancy is on the rise. Let's take India as an example. In 1990, the life expectancy of Indian nationals was only 24 years old. By 2014, it had increased to 67 years. If we extrapolate this trend, it won't be uncommon for people to live to 100 years old in the future. So, if people's life expectancy reaches 100 years, will there be any changes in life? The authors of this book assert that the most significant change in the future will be the gradual disappearance of the traditional three-stage life model. Instead, you will have a multi-stage life. Why is this happening? Let me explain. Currently, the majority of people's lives can be divided into 3 stages: education, employment, and retirement. For example, a person graduates from college in their early 20s, works until around 60, and then retires, possibly living until around 80. This means they have about 20 years of retirement. However, if your lifespan extends to 100 years but retirement age remains the same, you'll have 40 years of retirement. Despite the longer lifespan, birth rates are declining, which means there will be more elderly people receiving pensions and fewer people in the workforce. For instance, in 1960, it took 10 workers in Japan to support 1 retiree, but by 2050, 10 workers will have to support 7 retirees. In other words, as the elderly population grows, there will be fewer young people to support them. Many countries are facing this same issue, which requires reforming pension policies. While the details of reform may vary from one country to another, the overall principle is similar: delaying retirement and accessing pensions later. Many countries have already started implementing such policies. However, these changes lead to 2 new problems. First, the traditional 3-stage model of life will be disrupted. In the future, the emergence of new technologies will lead to the decline of some industries and the rise of others. Initially learned skills won't be sufficient for a lifelong career, requiring people to continuously learn new skills and engage in new professions. Life naturally transitions into multiple stages. Second, if people stick to the original 3-stage life plan, the working stage will become quite long and monotonous. This can lead to depression, affecting personal relationships with loved ones and friends, as well as physical health. In addition to pension issues, the future will see significant changes in how people work and live due to technological advancements, offering more diverse choices. For example, in the past, graduating from college often led to seeking stable employment, getting married, and starting a family. But nowadays, finding stable work isn't the automatic choice for many young people. They might want to explore the world or plan entrepreneurial ventures with friends. This is leading to changes in the work landscape. Due to the development of the internet, communication and collaboration have become more convenient. Many companies directly post their job requirements online, leading to a significant number of people choosing part-time work. Some people choose not to find traditional employment at all, instead opting for a more freelance or gig economy approach, obtaining jobs through online platforms and earning commissions. This is what is commonly referred to as the gig economy and sharing economy. Companies are also willing to engage in such transactions because it allows them to save on employee costs. All of these changes will greatly alter people's existing employment patterns and lifestyles, further eroding the traditional three-stage life model. To summarize the main points of this first part, in the future, the extension of lifespan will make it increasingly difficult for governments to provide pensions. People will need to extend their working years. At the same time, technological advancements will provide more flexible ways of making a living. All of these factors will bring significant changes to people's existing work patterns and lifestyles. The traditional three-stage life model will become increasingly challenging to maintain. To make a longer life a gift filled with vitality, creativity, and enjoyment rather than a long, monotonous, and impoverished curse, we must reconsider and redesign our life plans. Now let's delve into the second question of this book. What will life in the future look like? As analyzed earlier, future life will no longer follow the conventional three-stage linear progression of education, employment, and retirement. Instead, there will be multiple possibilities and combinations. For instance, in the future, there may be a specific stage of life dedicated to exploration. Here, exploration is somewhat akin to social practice, but it exists as an independent stage of life, possibly spanning several years. When is the ideal time for exploration? There are three potential scenarios. 1. Fresh graduates, young adults who have just graduated from school. Exploration at this stage is valuable because young people need to understand society, and the experiences gained during exploration can expand their knowledge and practical experience. It also lays the foundation for their future. 2. Around age 45, at this point, individuals have accumulated a significant amount of work experience. It's a suitable time to take a break, reevaluate their career, assess their personal value, and think deeply about their identity and role. This stage involves planning the future path. 3. After retirement, due to the extension of lifespan, people have the opportunity to experience an entirely different phase of life after retirement, making their lives more exciting. In addition to exploration, in a multi-stage life, there may be a new economic activity stage. Many individuals may abandon traditional career paths to pursue entrepreneurship. However, these entrepreneurial ventures are often smaller in scale, and the goal is not necessarily to build a continuously growing company. Instead, people spend a period of time engaged in independent, self-sustaining productive work. Although earning money is important at this stage, the primary focus is on learning through the entrepreneurial process, significantly enhancing one's skills. As people live longer, there will be a preference for diverse work experiences. Monotonous, repetitive tasks can lead to fatigue and boredom, so people will lean toward diversified work. This is where combination careers come into play. For instance, within a week, one might spend 3 days working at a traditional job, dedicate 1 day to volunteering in the community, allocate another day to completing tasks for an online platform, and use the remaining day to pursue personal hobbies. Building a multi-stage life also requires the continuous enhancement of intangible assets. So, what intangible assets will people need in the future? There are 3 main categories. 1. Productive assets. These assets enhance work productivity, income potential, and career development. They primarily include knowledge and skills. 2. Vitality assets. In the future, physical and mental health will be crucial intangible assets. To maintain positive health, individuals will need to maintain strong family relationships and prioritize well-being. 3. Transformation assets. These assets involve self-awareness and an open attitude toward new experiences. As people undergo numerous transformations in a multi-stage life, transformation assets become essential. Only by mastering these three categories of intangible assets can individuals construct a rich multi-stage life and smoothly transition through different phases. Having analyzed the potential new stages of life in the future, you might find this concept a bit abstract. To make it more tangible, let's simulate scenarios for two individuals, Tim, born in the 1970s, and Susan, born in the 1990s, and design multi-stage life scenarios for them. First, let's take a look at Tim's life scenario. Tim, born in the 1970s, studied computer science in college. After graduation, he joined a software company, where he worked in IT-related roles. The company was doing well, so Tim planned to work there until his retirement at around 60. However, when he reached the age of 45, Tim realized that the IT industry was rapidly evolving, and his knowledge and skills were falling behind the industry's demands. His energy levels were also struggling to keep up. After assessing his limited assets, he decided to delay retirement and make some changes. Here are two potential scenarios for Tim. Scenario 1, Tim continues in his current field but undergoes personal transformation, creating a combination career. He dedicates his free time to learning new skills and obtaining industry-recognized certifications, enhancing his income potential. Simultaneously, he focuses on increasing vitality assets by adopting healthier lifestyles, which include his wife returning to full-time work. Together, they share household responsibilities and improve their overall well-being. Tim also starts his combination career, investing in a software project that generates additional income. Scenario 2, Tim takes a bolder life decision to become an independent producer. He prepares by closely monitoring the market to understand the latest demands in the IT industry. He re-establishes connections with former colleagues, building a network of support. After thorough preparations, including 3 years of learning and networking, Tim co-founds his own company, entering a new stage of life. These scenarios illustrate how Tim adapts to a multi-stage life by either evolving within his current career or making a significant transition to entrepreneurship. In the next section, we will explore Susan's multi-stage life scenario, born in the 1990s. Now let's talk about Susan. Susan is a young woman from the 1990s, making her younger than Tim. She faces more choices and greater employment pressure due to her extended career span, potentially working for 60 years. In such a lengthy time frame, working a typical 9-to-5 job with just a few annual holidays would be overwhelming. So, we've envisioned a 5-stage life plan for Susan. The first stage is the exploration phase. After graduating from college, Susan decided to embark on a global journey. She visited several countries in Latin America, immersing herself in the culture, learning to prepare street food, and exploring the region's religions and festivals. Susan's adventure allowed her to refine her organizational skills by participating in various festival events, managing budgets, and collaborating with local organizations. This exploration phase provided a solid foundation for her future transitions. The second stage is the work phase. During this stage, Susan took on 3 different jobs and experienced 2 transitional periods. After concluding her global travels, Susan returned to her hometown and secured her first job as an independent event planner. Leveraging her experiences from her explorations, she organized numerous festival events and established an online community for these activities. Susan wasn't expecting significant financial gains from this role but aimed to accumulate more work experience, expand her network, and enhance her reputation within the industry. At the age of 35, she realized her earnings weren't sufficient and decided to switch careers. Given her rich experience in the food and entertainment industry and her deep understanding of customer needs, Susan successfully transitioned to a renowned food company, earning a substantial income. During this phase, she also got married and had 2 children. However, at the age of 45, Susan resigned from her job and spent 6 months in transition, dedicating time to her children and parents. This marked her first transitional period. After 6 months, feeling a bit bored and in need of income, Susan decided to become an executive search consultant. Despite her substantial business experience, she recognized her lack of insight into human nature and chose to further her education to enhance her productive assets. By the time Susan reached 70, she had accumulated considerable financial assets. However, after 2 decades of intense work, her social life dwindled, and her relationship with her partner became strained. Additionally, her physical condition wasn't what it used to be. Consequently, Susan decided to retire and travel, marking her second transitional period. 2 years later, at the age of 72, Susan entered the third stage, the combination career phase. She worked 1 day a week at an international charity organization, assisting Latin American children weekly, served as a non-executive director at a local retail company for 1 day a week, and volunteered at a local public institution every 2 weeks. She continued this pattern until the age of 85, when she truly retired. In summary, Susan's 5-stage life significantly differs from Tim's 4-stage life in several ways. 1. Susan embraced the concept of transformation and multi-stage life from the beginning, while Tim only realized the need for transformation around age 45. Susan's approach aligns better with future societal trends. 2. Susan recognized the importance of maintaining vitality throughout her long life and created 2 transitional periods to facilitate change and renewal. 3. With the emergence of multi-stage lives, dual-income households will become more common to reduce living costs and support transitions. However, managing family and personal career planning will become more complex and require close coordination. 4. In Tim's 3-stage life, wealth slowly decreased, then gradually increased, and decreased again after retirement. In Susan's multi-stage life, her financial situation resembles a series of peaks and valleys, making financial planning more intricate. In conclusion, the rapid advancements in technology, evolving industries and employment prospects, along with extended lifespans, will usher in new life stages such as exploration, combination careers, and independent production. Balancing tangible and intangible assets while actively planning for one's life will be essential. However, this profound shift toward a centenarian life hasn't received the attention it deserves, with few individuals seriously contemplating how it will impact work and life. It appears that society, businesses, and governments have yet to adequately prepare for these changes. So, how can we effectively plan for work and life in the future? This is the third question we aim to address today. On a personal level, the first step is to establish financial planning for a long life. With longer life expectancy comes the need for more financial resources. Moreover, as life stages increase, income and expenses will fluctuate significantly. This necessitates acquiring financial knowledge, improving financial literacy, and gaining a thorough understanding of your own financial situation and future needs. For instance, you should estimate how much money you'll need after retirement and consider having emergency funds in case of major unexpected expenses. Additionally, it's crucial to learn about financial management. The author suggests allocating a portion of your savings for investments to generate stable returns, aiming for an average annual return rate 3% higher than the inflation rate. However, he advises against overly aggressive investment strategies. Another approach is to use real estate to supplement your retirement income. In most countries, property is a significant part of people's investment portfolios. After retiring, you can rent out your property to younger individuals, using the rental income to cover your retirement home expenses. Now, let's address the issue of time in a long life. Compared to living until 70, living until 100 offers more time for various choices, such as creating wealth, developing skills, spending time with family and friends, and more. However, some challenges need consideration. Firstly, despite having more time, people often find themselves busier than ever. While the standard work hours have reduced over the years, people seem to feel busier due to rising material desires. As people become wealthier, they want better cars, larger houses, which necessitate more work hours and more money. Secondly, there is a paradox where higher wages often lead to longer working hours. In the past, lower-income and low-skilled workers tended to work longer hours, while higher-income and high-skilled workers enjoyed shorter workweeks. However, this pattern has changed since the 1990s. For example, in 1979, only 15% of high-income individuals in the United States worked more than 50 hours per week. By 2006, this number had almost doubled. Factors include the high cost of service industry labor and the rising cost of leisure activities, making it necessary for people to work longer hours. Additionally, leisure time has increased, but people feel they have less of it. Commuting to work and handling daily chores, even during time off, erode leisure time. The ubiquity of small tasks and distractions further diminishes free time, leaving people feeling more fatigued. To make the most of a long life, people should also consider planning their interpersonal relationships. Longer lifespans will challenge marriages, family dynamics, and friendships. Modern marriages are more about emotional connections rather than economic support. Spouses are no longer entirely dependent on each other but share financial responsibilities and assets. In multi-stage lives, partners may need to support each other through various transitions, such as education or starting a business. As lifespans increase, multi-generational households may become more common, requiring individuals to adapt to complex family structures. This shift will necessitate preparation for the differences in daily routines, dietary habits, and potential conflicts. Moreover, people will have more time to make friends, and their social circles may expand beyond age boundaries. In three-stage lives, age often segregates social groups, but in multi-stage lives, individuals of different ages may share similar experiences, leading to more diverse friendships. In conclusion, individuals need to prepare for financial security, effective time management, and robust interpersonal relationships in the face of longer life expectancy. Businesses and governments must also adapt to these changes. Companies should offer training, incentives, and flexible work arrangements. Government policies, including legal, tax, and welfare systems, need to accommodate the evolving workforce and social structures, as more people may not engage in full-time employment in the future. Alright, here is the main content of this book. In the near future, it's possible for everyone to live longer lives. Longevity will no longer be a dream. The traditional three-stage model of education, employment, and retirement will no longer be sufficient. Therefore, we must actively make changes and envision more diverse and flexible multi-stage lives. Are you prepared? Alright, this concludes the interpretation of A Century of Life. Congratulations on completing another book. Thank you for your support and attention. Please subscribe to the Tim Booker channel, like, and share this valuable knowledge with your friends. Let's combine wisdom and practice to achieve our financial goals and create a better future. Thank you, everyone.